Hey everyone, welcome back to Shapez2. Today, update 1.2 dropped, and this update broke mods so hard that when I tried to launch the game, my entire PC just died. I have also heard things saying that blueprints from before 1.0 are not compatible anymore, which is a problem because most of my blueprints are from before 1.0. Yeah. Well, that's great. Luckily, there's a 1.1.0 branch right here. Well, I'm back. I'm now in version 1.1.0. Here I am in my sandbox save, and I'm going to save all of my blueprints again. So the process is pretty easy. I just take a blueprint, paste it, go back, replace. And as you can see, now this is gone. So paste, replace, done. Oh, I'm so stupid. I replaced my crystallizer platform with this. Alright, all of my blueprints have been replaced, and I have to go replace my crystallizer because I accidentally replaced it with a pin miner or a pin maker. Now if I paste this in game, oh, there we go, it's back. Well, I've done everything I wanted to, so here we are back in manufacture mode, and my blueprints are still here. Very good. Now this episode, I do kind of want to get this shape running so that I can get more research credits, more platform capacity. And I really want the third machine level. This thing helps a lot more than you think. It's one of those things that you don't realize what you're missing out on until you actually have it. Guess I could also get the bench stacker and maybe some bigger platforms as well. How about I just use those two? There's a full notch of a square. Here's a full notch of red paint. Should probably put it in a space where it's not gonna get cramped, like there. Red square. And here's a full 8 belts of circles. There's the operator level shape. Never mind. I've been using the wrong blueprint. Here's my 8 stacker. See how this is compatible? When I replace it, it's no longer compatible. What? Alright, well that's not my problem. I'm just gonna send that in, and then I should get some more operator levels. Alright, I'm back. I was just messing around a little bit, and it looks like I got a few levels. Very nice. Once one more level goes in, I'll get 5,000, and then I can get the new machine level. Done. And done. I can use both of those levels to get the third machine level and the bench stacker. Well, now that I have those two, I can see how they're showing up on the third level now. Unfortunately, these aren't compatible with all 3 levels. Well, am I silly? Did I replace it when I didn't have the bench stacker? Oh my god. Alright, here it is again. Right. Alright, I guess I'll be back. Alright, I'm back. I fixed the blueprint, and it looks like the warning icon is just temporary because, see the icon? I replaced it and it's back now. Well, I've been recording for about 30 minutes. I've made barely any progress. Increase the square input. Replace those with 12 belt stackers. Increase the circle input, and that should be much increased of this red exotic ruby thing. I can't talk. So that will show up on all 3 layers now. Let's go to the sapphire and see if I have to rework much over here. In the interest of preserving platform capacity, I'm not going to do that right now. I could get Ruby Station B and then start working on those pretty early. I think the earlier I get them, the better. Because that means I have to rework less in the future. I think I'll get another space belt of this. Oh yeah, this can go on all 3 layers now. Right. Well, this makes 2 belts and then bounces it onto 3 floors. I need 24 of these for a full space belt. Here's the full space belt of squares. Look how flat that is. But anyway, there's another space belt of squares. This also has to be replaced with a 12 belt one. 2 full space belt of red squares. Here's the circle blueprint rework to bounce it onto 3 floors. And then I once again need 24 of these. Here's another space belt. Stacker, 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 stacker. Stacker, 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 stacker. Red square there. Output. Output. Yay, 2 space belts. And you know what, since this platform capacity is being such a big problem in the early game, I might just buy some of this. I don't know why I've been avoiding it, but I guess I could. Alright, that's as many as I'm willing to get. And I am tempted to get the Ruby Station B just right now. Might be overkill, but I'm doing it. Could also get a Polishing Station B to get infinite waste. If I have to get that, I will. For now, nah. And I think I will just buy the Research Station. I don't know if I'm going to do anything with these byproducts, so I won't for now. Let's head over to the Ruby Station and take a look at the Ruby Station B. This takes that shape, which is going to be a big mess, and also that shape. So from this, I'm going to get 2 space belts of Ruby. For each space belt of this, I get that in return. So I also need 2 space belts of this shape. Taking a look at the Polishing Station, it makes half a shape. And turning it into 3/4 shapes ultimately is going to be really annoying. I have pulled out the notepad. Now, since math is not my strong suit, there's a very high chance that this is completely wrong. What I'm thinking is I'm trying to calculate this shape based on the amount of quarters it has. So this shape has 3/4 of the gray exotic. In order to get 1 full space belt of that, I need 144 quarters, because 1 space belt is 48 belts. Then taking a look at the Polishing Station, it makes 2/4 of the gray exotic. So in order to get 144 quarters, we need 72 Polishing Stations. And the Polishing Station also takes 2/4 or 1/2 shape, so you need 72 quarters or 18 full shapes. See right here I have a full space belt of waste. That's making 1 notch of that, and that needs to go into 2 Polishing Stations. 8, 16, 32, 48, I think, and then 64, and then 72. Yikes. I am starting to think this is just much more efficient. You know, I'm probably overcomplicating this. So here's 1 full space belt of the half thing, and 1 full space belt of that thing. Need to turn it into 3/4 somehow. How about I just stack them into full shapes for now and then see what happens. Alright, that should be 2 full space belts of that shape. Never mind. Always do this wrong. Here is a full space belt of that shape. So yeah, I didn't need nearly as many trade stations as the one needed from my calculations. If this isn't proof that I'm bad at math, then I don't know what is. And to be honest, I don't know what I did wrong, so I'm just gonna forget about it. Could probably punch out a quarter from this and then use that, but that would be wasteful. Anyway, if I did punch out a quarter, that would just defeat the whole benefit of the Ruby Station, which is needing 3/4 shapes instead of full shapes. See how this is 1-to-1 on those? This is 3/4 to 1. If I just delete that shape, then I might as well use this, you know. So maybe I wasted my research credits on getting the Ruby Station B. Here's another space belt of that shape. Plug that in. There's another Ruby. And I'm now getting a lot more Ruby, more than I'll ever need probably. Okay, not ever, but you know what I mean. What happens if I get Polishing Station B? Still can't get Sapphire B. Alright, fine, make me waste my research credits like that. Anyway, we're back in Sapphire Land, where I'm going to make the second space belt of this finally. So down here, red exotics go there. And then replace those with that. Replace the painting platform with the 3-layer one. I have now fixed the second space belt of the blue squares. I have no idea where they go. Looks like they go in here and here. And then from this side, we need the second space belt of this. I've increased the circle output, 2 space belts on all 3 floors. And I have to increase the star output to be on all 3 floors again. Star output increased. Gotta update these painters. Okay, you get the idea. I'm just increasing the output of all of these. Alright, that should be everything increased in capacity for the blue exotics. That goes there, that goes there. Look at that. 2 space belts of blue exotics. I should really call them by their mineral form. I should say emerald or sapphire or something. And with that, I can now plug in that other space belt into more emerald trade stations. Of course, I'll have to increase the capacity of these shapes, so let me do that. Full space belt of the bow tie. Another space belt of the bow tie. Diamond output increased. A lot more blue output. I should now have 2 space belts on all 3 floors on every shape. If I miss something, so be it. I'll figure that out in episode 12 or something. Oh yeah, looks like I forgot to upgrade that. Nice. 2 space belts of circles now. Circles on the bottom. Diamonds on top. Here's 2 space belts of that. 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 2 space and 2 space belts of that. You know, I realized I probably didn't have to upgrade this. Yeah, I did not, because that's eating half a space belt. This only needs 1 space belt. Well, also, why am I making the emeralds up here? I have to send the sapphire things over there. Also, apparently that's not working. Not surprised. Well, it's because these wagons are only too long. Nice. Wait, even just holding something disables the autosave. See? It's counting down, but when I hold something, I'm not even clicking, it's just paused. And it gets reset? What? Okay, I guess that autosave's never happening then. 2 space belts of the sapphire exotics are over here. And also, I just realized I can literally click to reset the autosave. Oh, about autosave? Nah. Oh, I got an achievement. No autosave. So this space belt has to go into that input. This space belt has to go into the other input, like that. Here's 1 space belt of a half emerald exotic, not a full one. Now I'm going to get the other line right here. That can just go there, this can just go there. And there you go. Another space belt. Oh. Full space belt of emerald exotic. I need squares, stars, circles, and diamonds. I need everything basically. You know, over here isn't terrible. I got squares, I've got blue, I've got stars, I've got diamonds, and I've got circles. It's got everything I need. However, I feel like once I expand everything, I'm gonna run out of space. Over here should do. It's at 5A. That's a little bit far. I don't know if building everything so far apart from each other is a bad idea. Probably is. Look how many squares are over here. 2 full asteroids. And there's a full diamond up here. I didn't even notice. Wait a second. If you notice, this diamond is half gray, half green. And look at this shape. Half green, half gray diamond. I can just swap it and then it'll create that shape. So you know what? Why don't I just build the gold station here? There you go. It is now set in stone. Unfortunately, the nearest place to get stars in a half form is nowhere. I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter. I can just ship them from other places. By the way, this still has not showed up on the 3rd floor yet, and I don't know why. It's the blue paint. Of course it is. Alright, so looking at the gold trade station, we have to input all of that in order to get 1 full space belt. All of those are going to get swapped together and then it'll just work out. Looking at the alternative trade station, that's going to cause... Calculating that is going to use a lot of math skills that I don't have. Also, the inputs look complicated. In the amount of exotics, there's 1 quarter and 2 quarters, so we all know how that's going to end. Also, since I'm holding on to my Vicious credits, I'm going to get 1 tier speed multiplier. And I guess more train upgrades. Just by swapping them around like this, we get green and gray bow ties of diamonds thing painted. So what I'm going to do here is paint this green, keep that as gray, and then when I stack them, I will then get that gray and green square thing. I'm aware I can save paint by turning this into a full shape first and then painting it, but I can't be asked. Whoops. That's better. Honestly, I could attach it to this train. Wait, maybe I should get like different train colors. Primary colors. And then I can send it onto this line right here. So the blue train will go over here, the red one, which is carrying the emerald, yes. Emerald one will go there. And this is carrying that shape. These diamonds go on top. Yep. Now we have to actually get... Now we have to get this shape, which is a blue bow tie and a half star. I think I know where I'm going to get the blue bow tie from. Blue and square bow tie. If you combine them, you get a blue square bow tie. Who would have thought? And since I have a green train, I'm just going to use it. And then the green train can go from here. Wait a second. Look, there's a blue bow tie right there. I could have used that. If I do that, I get a star bow tie, which is exactly what I need. And I guess now I'll have to get the trash so I can get rid of those squares. Unfortunately, this is only 1 belt, so I'm going to need a lot of these. I'm going to need 48 of these miners. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 46, 47, 48. There's an unbelievably high chance I ran the numbers wrong, and I'm pretty sure I did. Alright, well this isn't far enough to warrant getting a train, so I'm just going to use a belt. Wait, this is 2 belts, not 1 belt. I knew I did something wrong. Alright, that's the correct amount, I hope. 47, 46, 45, 44, 43, 42, 41. I lost count already, by the way. Okay, screw this. I'm just gonna copy paste this 24 times. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. I hope that's correct. If it's not, then I won't even try anymore. And I would like for this to be neater, but I've already built it badly. Now I need a full green circle. I don't know where I'm gonna get that from. I've got green and circles right here. Green circles. Here's the green circle. Here's the other part of that shape. This should be the last part. Yes, it is. And now I can unload the emerald. Well, I did not plan for expandability at all, did I? In my defense, it is difficult to plan for expandability. Let's plug in the emerald exotics first. Maybe I should leave a little bit more space, yeah. Seems like a good idea. This part has to go over here. And this part has to go over there. Alright, I should be getting the gold exotic coming out pretty soon. I do also have a lot of research credits that I could spend, but I think I'm doing good on train speed and capacity. So I might just save for more speed multiplier. Oh, that's already done. These have not even started yet. Man, this is not working at all. Because of the circles. Oh, look at that. I have 11,000 research credits. I am going to get more speed multiplier. I think in the next milestone, since I'm getting mixing, I'll get access to a new operator level shape, which is this one. And then I can get even more research credits from this one. Probably should also start looking into using these byproducts. But integrating all of those into my existing factory seems a little bit difficult, I won't lie. Hey, there you go. Aquamarine and mixing. The aquamarine station requires precisely mixed colors. You'll need a color mixer to create the refined shapes they accept. Complex work, but that's why they pay an aquamarine. The traders respect precision, so should you. And here's the trade station. Bit of a weird input layout. It obviously takes the gold exotic, that shape, and that shape. Doesn't look too hard to make. Oh, and now I have access to Sapphire B. And I got Emerald B at the same time. Yeah, I don't know what unlocked these. I guess completing the gold milestone. Probably won't use this because, again, that requires me to rework everything. And just as I predicted, I now have access to this shape for the next operator level thing. And you know what? I'm going to go make that right now. Apparently I never upgraded this to use the 3rd floor. I swear I did though. Once again, upgraded everything except for the paint. Fantastic. Okay, fixed. I also decided it's time I added labels to these things. Let's call it operator. There's the shape code. Alright, I have settled on this place to make this shape. It's got diamonds, it's got circles and stars, and it's got all the paint. Probably once again gonna make 2 space belts of this. These 2 space belts of bow ties will be red. And these 2 will be yellow. I really probably should stack them and then paint them as full shapes so that I can save paint. But I already built all this. Alright, it's been fixed. Here's 1 space belt of circles. I can paint it red and then cut into bow ties, and then I'll get 2 space belts of bow ties. There's 2 space belts of full circles. Here's a full notch of green. Here's a full notch of red. This one is for the red paint. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lots of yellow. That should be enough to paint everything yellow that's required. Alright, red and yellow. This goes in there. This goes in there. This goes in there. This goes in there. Red and yellow. I'm going to cut them in half right now. Turn them into bow ties. I need to move this again. There's 2 bow ties. These are the bow ties. This platform will cut out the circle and then swap those stars into a full star. And then of course bounce it onto 3 floors. Here's a star. I can do this exact same setup. Hopefully I'll have enough yellow to run it. I probably will. And there. Now the only thing I'm missing is the white diamond. Here's a full diamond. And here are 2 spaceballs of diamonds. Now I have to make white paint and send it all the way up there. I've got 12 blue miners right there. I've got 12 miners of green right here. And screw expandability, I'm gonna get 12 miners of red right here. Grab my white mixer. I don't have a 1x3 platform. That makes sense. Now I have it. Green. Blue. And it is possible to input red without the 3rd layer. It's just a little bit janky. It looks like this. And there you go, lots of white. Diamonds in there. White in there. Copy paste. Diamonds in there. White in there. Here's all the parts. 2 space belts of white diamonds, 2 space belts of this yellow bow tie, 2 space belts of this other yellow bow tie, and 2 space belts of this red bow tie. I'm going to stack everything over here, I think. 4, 4, 4. There you go. So first I need a white diamond on the bottom. And then I have to get one of these bow ties. Then I have to get the other bow tie. Then I have to get a star bow tie. And that should be it. I built another extra row of stackers, and yes, that's correct. Then I have to copy paste this. So first it's a white diamond. And then the red circle bow tie thing. I realize it's kind of impossible to name these shapes. So I guess I won't try anymore. Anyway, things have been plugged in, and here's 2 space belts of this operator level shape. And hopefully this is max efficiency. I love how I say I'll build for expandability and then don't. So right now we're at level 35. Once this starts up, we should get levels a lot faster. And I think that's going to be it for this episode, honestly. Didn't get a lot of progress done. I mean, we got the gold done, and then we got a new operator shape. Next episode, I'm going to try to do 2 or 3 more milestones, depending on how long they take. And it looks like in this milestone, we only get half an exotic, and then the next one takes a full one, so we're going to have to do a lot of expanding. That's going to be fun with how little I've planned for expandability. So that's going to be it for this episode. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, do everything. Thanks for watching.